All right, guys, it's time. Hit that thumbs up while you still have a chance. Leave your final predictions in the chat. Subscribe if you're new. We have, in 10 seconds, the beginning of the announcement. Again, remember, the anniversary is in a couple of months, so for better or worse, whatever you guys see here, stay tuned. Here we go.
Welcome back to Video and Stuff. I'm the producer of Dragon Ball Legends, Toshi, and we have two new members today.
Hi everybody, I am Jennifer, Community Manager on Dragon Ball Legends.
And hello, I'm Janneke, the other Community Manager. It is great to meet our Dragon Ball Legends players.
So this is our first time as Dragon Ball Legends presenting our Community Manager to all our players.
Yeah, so basically as community managers, we listen very closely to the voice of the community, which we then forward to you, Toshi.
That's right. As a matter of fact, Janneke and I have been working together on Dragon Ball Legends for some time now, and one of our goals is to create more content for the community. Probably you have seen a few of our new social media posts on Facebook and Twitter.
I love her accent. It's really deep. I love it.
Other guides with content, like a video tutorial series that's in the work right now, so hopefully that will help new beginning players.
That's nice.
I'm sure that we will make everything to make sure that the development team and the community come closer together.
That's something I'm personally looking forward to as well, because at the end of the day, we have the team working on the game, but we're not truly professionals at really making ourselves too public outside. So these two will definitely, hopefully, make the entire environment a lot better for all the players.
Hopefully.
Yes, we hope so too. But yeah, let's move on to the
Chat
in-game
saying simp.
information, because at last we implemented a new game mode, Tournament
Oh
of
my
Power.
god.
So that's something big that we have been working on for quite a long time, actually. And I'm
There's an
hoping
echo?
that many
Okay.
players
Let me
are
fix that.
having fun. Or if they're not, we would definitely like to hear the voices of that so that we can work on it. As many of you may be already aware, it's in the preseason. Basically means what we're doing right now, what you're participating in, isn't something that's going to be rock solid for the future. We're probably going to be tweaking lots of things, not just in terms of like gaming and balancing, but in terms of like the ranking or how frequently you play it and so on. So as of now, I wouldn't say testing the waters, because we're comfortable. We'd like to think we're comfortable with what we have, but the more we hear from you guys, the easier it is for us to move on and make it better or to tweak it.
Yeah, so definitely let us know on social media, Twitter or Facebook, what you think of the Tournament of Power, and we will let Toshi know.
That's right. But you know, you did not only implement Tournament of Power, you also implemented Ultra.
Yes, the Ultra Rarity. I'm pretty sure the first time when players heard it, they probably thought, oh god, they're gonna have to gather lots of Chrono Crystals first. But no, we're definitely going to be providing these Ultras in similar manners as the first Super Saiyan Goku did for now. And then maybe in the far future, they might start appearing as different characters in the summons. But as of now, we're
still
planning
saying
on
that.
providing for more content similar to what we did with Goku, where you have to play different modes. Where you
They
have
really want to make sure
participate
you
in
know
different,
that they're going to be summonable
content
later.
and gather Z-Power for that Goku in different methods. Of course, it doesn't mean you have to play PvP or that you have to play co-op. We're, at the end of the day, gonna leave that decision up to the players, because we want for them to make that choice. But we're also going to say, if you play it all, you're gonna get a lot more than not playing it all.
Yeah, we definitely want people to remind them to definitely do this so you can collect all the Z-Power.
Yeah, I'm
before the
pretty
event
sure
is
they're
over.
going to be excited. Also, I have to say that I really like the art direction that you guys took on this, and congratulations to the team, because you did an amazing job. So I am pretty sure everybody's going to be happy about it.
The art
Exactly.
team really took their time and care to make sure that this is something distinguishable from other pieces of Dragon Ball, that this is unique to Dragon Ball Legends. As you can tell, the dark ink, the slightly Japanese-esque feeling to it, is kind of very unique to Legends as a whole. And also it makes sure that you can tell as a whole that the rarity, that is Ultra, is something clearly distinguishable from other characters.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll definitely not forget to play it. But we're gonna move on to a next segment, our first time for Ask Stuff, which will be was held during the battle hour for the first time, and we're gonna have some questions for you, Toshi. So I hope you're ready.
Yeah, we still had like what 1,690 something questions left in our hands from that point on.
Yeah. And I also heard that 200 of those questions were about you.
Yeah,
Asking questions about you. So how do you feel about that?
Well, some of them were very much personal, so no, I'm not going to answer all of them. But yeah, we'll try to answer as much as possible in terms of gameplay, in terms of Dragon Ball Legends. I don't know about the personal ones.
Yeah.
Maybe take me out to dinner somewhere. I don't know.
You hear that?
Yeah.
A good
Okay, so
dinner,
let's start with those questions.
Yeah, so I have question one. When looking at specific characters, it says they activate the following effects on themselves at the start of battles. How long will the effective abilities last when activation time is not specified?
So, at this point, we have many characters with different abilities, and I understand some feedback saying it looks like I'm reading a dictionary for certain characters. At the same time, many people can tell that certain characters are very strong because of the wall of text that they see it. But it's another difficult part for us to move on with because
These
the
characters
more new
having a
abilities that
paragraph
we add,
per unique.
the easily it can be confusing with more systems added on top of each other, and it doesn't really leave much for vagueness, especially because this game that is Dragon Ball Legends basically is kind of similar to a real-time card game of sorts where everybody's playing in the same rule. In the question that you mentioned earlier with the abilities with the buffs that activate, usually there are a few major laws that we follow where if it specifies the counter time, the moment the character steps in, the moment the character uses that attack, that's when the counter time starts. So for those of you who may want to keep close count of how long that buff is lasting, they should maybe pay attention to the top left corner of the screen and kind of subtract the time from that point on, which I understand is a difficult feat, especially in PvP. So in the future, maybe we'd like to make these count times or these kind of time left that you have on certain buffs a lot more visibly distinguishable. And we understand that that's an issue. But another rule is if it doesn't specify a time, it usually won't go away. It's something of a semi-permanent effect. And the reason I say semi is because there are certain characters that will cancel your buffs. There are certain characters that can use their main abilities or their special card and
My bad, I fell
get rid
asleep
of
at
your
this part a little bit.
buffs, and that's when it goes away, obviously. But aside from that, it usually stays with your character, and then there are also the buffs that says not cancelable, which aren't cancelable, as we like to think is
Simple as
very
that.
clear. Yeah, it's very, we'd like to think it's clear and simple, meaning they're literally permanent, and as long as you have that character out, it will be buffing that character in the sense that should be explained in the ability.
Okay.
All right, awesome
you.
answer. Second question now. So does the management team sometimes disagree on things like abilities or elements?
I wouldn't say sometimes. It usually starts out with a disagreement because there are many things that we have to look at in terms of how character functions, not just in the sense of the current meta, the environment of what players are using, but also there are certain characters where players, well, not just players, but us as fans of Dragon Ball as well, would like to see certain characters play out differently. So we want certain characters to be as strong as possible, obviously. And then there's people like me that says, no, please don't. And there's lots of arguments that goes on. And usually it takes about a few weeks prior to it being released in terms of tweaking and balancing. And there's much discussion, but we'd like to think it's a healthy discussion. And also the disagreement that we have isn't something of an unhealthy one where we just simply want to make certain characters stronger than something else, or we want to push out certain tags more than others. We want to make sure that the environment as a whole is, I wouldn't say entirely fair, because at the end of the day, if everything is viable, nothing is viable. So we want to make sure that there's different choices, there's different ways of making a complex rock, paper, scissors system where certain characters are definitely stronger than others, but those characters are weaker against other characters, and that cycle goes on.
Yeah, the meta has to change at some point. So yeah, for the third question, which character did you have the hardest time creating? I've been curious for this.
So the biggest character that comes to mind is Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. This has been mentioned a few times. I hope you guys...
Such a cool. It's on my main team all the time.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get it.
Yeah.
I'm suffering a little bit, but it's all right.
Well, as a Legends Limited character, we wanted to make sure that it had very strong assets in terms of just fighting on its own. And we wanted to make sure that with his unique ability, the unique gauge that he has, he stood out. But at the same time, I mean, I'm pretty sure many people, when they first read it, it says it dodges just strike attacks, blast attacks, tap attacks. It's like, okay, so this guy's basically invincible, right? But if
Yes.
that was the case, as I kind of said earlier, then it would just be a boring game of everybody has to use Goku. So we wanted to make sure that he had his weaknesses. So in that sense, the balancing was very difficult, because if the weakness was too great, then it's unfun, you know? It's just not, it won't be fun. So we wanted to make sure that he had his strong damage, high output, but made sure that if you did screw up, if you did get hit, you're gonna be in for a ride, and you're gonna have to be careful with using him. So he is a character that, in terms of balancing, was difficult to tweak, and also in terms of just graphical technology. This is something that we answered in the previous Ask Stuff too, but we took so much longer than the average character in terms of just making this character look great and making sure that everybody's smartphone.
Matt says they're saving the invincible
Well, I
stuff
don't
for
know how much
MUI
time,
Goku.
actually. Can you say that?
Honestly, the discussion itself
Yeah.
started like more than half a year before its release. So
Wow,
I don't even know
okay.
when I should define how long it took.
Well, it was
He
definitely
told you
worth
right there,
it
just told you
because I
guys
love
that
playing
they're
with it.
already
Well,
producing these
I will
units
let you know
literally
once I
months and months
finally
and months in
get it.
advance, which is something that's pretty obvious, but they do that.
Yeah, the next question.
And they just tweak the
it's a little
banners and
tricky.
release schedules
So
as they go.
There's a girl I like in the class next door. I always
What?
attack her with my strike arts, but she keeps avoiding me with vanishing steps. How
Now
can
that's
I
a
make
simp.
sure my rising rush will reach her?
That's deep. That is deep, but romantic in a way.
Did you write this, or was this really in the questions?
Are we in school? I don't know. I don't. Maybe.
I swear to God, I did see some silly questions in the list of the 1700 questions. Some of them were really like just simple, saying, "Can we have more Chrono Crystals?" But like that one's just, you know what?
At least it's original.
Yeah, it's very original. You know, I suggest you bringing maybe Majin Buu and making sure that she can't switch characters. Maybe I have no idea how to answer this. But,
Hella stupid.
there are certain characters that stops you from using switch covers, so if you don't want them to dodge, yeah, those characters are what I suggest.
Well, I hope he
That was
doesn't.
a hella dumb question.
Please let us know. Please
I can't believe they let
what
that troll question in
Then I
here.
have another question.
It was funny, though.
Will Candy Vegito ever be made?
Yes?
The strongest candy in the world?
Yes!
Personally, I would love to see it, yes. I mean, probably in Dragon Ball Legends, it would literally be just a dot flying in the air.
Yes?
But, no, no plans for it yet. Maybe in the future.
Who knows, right? Well,
Oh,
and the
come
last
on.
question is actually about the legendary finishes. So for moves that weren't in the original manga or anime, like Super Saiyan Vegito or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, how do you decide how to bring them to Legends?
So when we first created the legendary finishes, we wanted to make sure that iconic scenes that everybody loved and wanted to reenact were basically brought to an entirely different tier of their own. But at the same time, little by little, we had not just the fans, but on our end as well, wanting to see characters that were just generally hype in general, very popular characters in general. And those characters usually are popular for like just their existence, basically, not just a single move. So we had to figure out ways of providing, picking up certain aspects of the character that would just, not just in terms of anime or other Dragon Ball forms of art, just not just being accurate, but making sure that they were cool without, I wouldn't say disappointing the fans, but without letting them. Okay, let me rephrase it. We wanted to provide the characters without always letting the players know what to expect. So Vegito is a good example. Everybody knew they wanted Vegito to be a high-tier character, a very strong character. We wanted to provide the character in the best possible scenario. But like earlier you said, like Vegito has multiple forms, and his fight was kind of long against Majin Buu. And that entire series, that entire arc is what made him popular, so we couldn't even pick up on something. So we wanted to bring an entirely original idea to him. So we chose the character first, and then we tried to elevate him to that tier of legendary finish.
Thank you so much for answering all the questions. That is it for now, but maybe next time we'll answer some more, and I hope you will answer them, even if they're silly.
In fact, I'd like to see more of our players ask us silly questions too on the SNS. So we're not going to just simply look at the previous 1,700 questions that were asked. We're definitely going to keep picking them up as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, definitely ask them.
Yeah, we are there. We are reading your questions, your comments, everything. So please just share whatever you want.
And we still want to know how it turns out for the guy in the classroom and the girl.
Yeah, okay. That's weird, but yeah.
Let's move on to the next segment, Legends Update Info.
Ambitious edition.
So this one is going to be something
Ambitious edition? What?
More of a ambiguous or things that we'd like to do in the future, not something that it's going to be necessarily updated next month or before the anniversary and such. So we want everybody to know that this is something that we're focusing on. For an example, we're definitely trying to cut down on unnecessary loading time.
That's good to hear, actually.
Yeah.
Another thing is basically recommending equipment screen of some sort. Basically, Dragon Ball Legends, besides the characters, players have an assortment of equipment that they can work on, that they can keep grinding for to make their team their own style of basically just direction that they can take. And the equipment makes that a lot more, I wouldn't say extreme, but it helps the players out to make sure that they can take those characters and play as they want. And we understand that there's lots of choices. There's, in fact, some of them are named similarly to each other. That's something that we understand is an issue. Like there's just different characters laughing or shouting, and some of them is really difficult to distinguish. So in the future, we're going to make sure that those are a lot more easily distinguishable between each equipments, and also players would be able to find out what kind of equipments are being used by top-tier players.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, like I see a lot of players who, for example, don't use any equipment in the co-op or PvP, and you know, that's also one of the reasons we decided to create the new tutorial series, because we also want to explain maybe if they don't know how to do that. But yeah, equipment is extremely important.
Yeah, it can definitely get confusing, because indeed what you said, Tosha, there's so many different ones of the same characters, and I'm just like, okay, but I have, you know, Android 18. Do I have to use all these matching equipments, or do I go for others? It is definitely a lot.
So most players that are very hardcore usually have their own direction that they want to take the party into. But for those of you who still don't know what to do, or who have the characters but don't know which one to equip, we're hoping that this suggestion system, of sort of the recommendation system in the future, will help them out and basically make their party one step or maybe more even beyond stronger than what they have right now.
Yeah, cannot wait for that.
Yeah, will be awesome.
Another thing is making the multi-Z power easier to use. So I'm pretty sure many people have their opinions on the multi-Z power, like why can I only carry 3, or why do I have to keep going back and forth to use it? As for the numbers, we don't want people to stock up and then use it on a new character and just spam it into one character. We want to make sure that this is a reward that everybody can constantly get, but at the same time we'll have to use immediately so that we don't have to worry about having people stockpile it. But Right now, the system is kind of made to force you to go back and forth between different menus, and that's something that we didn't really want for the players to experience either. It was kind of a system requirement of sorts that we kind of had to do, and this is something that we're definitely going to fix in the future. So we hope that players look forward to that, especially for those of you who are always grinding for the high tier difficulties and just constantly using the multi-Z powers. I understand your sentiments in that it's a bother, it's a hassle. I think so as well, especially the ones in the guild shop. Those are so annoying to use. I am in the same boat as you, and we're definitely going to make those a lot easier to use.
Yeah, I'm glad to not have to go to my inbox as much as all the time then.
And another function that we'd like to work on is making sure that certain characters having bonus ability buffs in certain content are a lot more easily distinguishable. Right now, certain events, like you take in certain characters, allow you to get more drops, more rewards for that content. Those are written in the in-game info, but not many people obviously read it, and I don't want to have to force you to read it as well. So we want to make sure
I'm
that
here,
those are
but
easier
like,
to decide on
man,
when basically challenging the content
I'm just listening.
itself, when
I'm just
going to
listening.
that event, and
I don't
just
really have
looking
anything
at your
to say,
party,
so.
and maybe the game will tell you the character that you have in your party right now will give you more bonus buffs or give you more drops. So those are something that we want to make sure are a lot more visibly distinguishable. Well, this is something of the buff itself we wanted to provide in the early days, and we prioritized implementing the buff itself over the UI.
I
So
am a
that's why
little
it
bored and I
ended
am a
up
little
being
tired. You're
as
right.
it is
I'm not
right
even gonna
now.
lie. You're
So
right.
It was, at the end of the day, we don't intend
Also,
for the
I'm like
players to have
muting
to
my mic just
slog
because
through
right now there's a lot of
different
feedback,
screens
which is why you guys are
and suffer,
echoing
before playing.
when I have my
We
mic
want
on
them to
because
keep
the
playing. We
feedback,
want
it's just
them
kind of
to
looping.
Just
So,
simply play as they like.
I'm kinda
And,
coming in and
We
out.
hope everybody understands that the stress that people feel, those are something that we feel as well and would like to see go away.
Well, hopefully all of these improvements will eventually come to the game. We probably are going to, update all the players about this. So yeah.
Keep an eye out to social
I will
media.
next time, Gibran.
All right, and I think there's
I got you,
one
man.
more update that we're trying to work on is
No more updates.
Covering your energy. Everybody requires energy to keep playing their content. Right now, there is the option of recovering your energy using chrono crystals or through your tank. But
Thanks for the dono,
you have
Nathan.
to
I
use
appreciate
one
it.
energy to spend your chrono crystals, and it's a bit of a hassle. So those kind of minor tweaks, limitations will go away in the future. And also another thing that we'll probably try to make sure to implement is allowing for players to get rid of adventures that they don't need, because those fill up
okay.
very quickly.
Very quickly, especially if playing PvP, it's always full, basically,
Yeah.
trying to
In fact,
find the right ones.
As of this recording, it's not implemented, but for all we know, some of these systems could be already implemented when the video goes live.
Well, if you do and you like the changes, definitely let us know.
Yeah, we will also be looking forward to that, 100%.
What?
Good evening.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Legends
This suit
News.
kills me.
A new character is coming to Legends. Normally, we showcase new characters that appear in the Legends All-Stars, but today we have something more special. This time, we have an all-new Legends Limited character. Let's start by checking out this video.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh. That was hella disrespectful. Oh, a force switch. That was hella disrespectful, dude. Ah, okay. Where's the finisher? Oh, shit. Oh, that is awesome, dude.
What a fight.
Oh, that was really clean.
Legends Limited
I like that a
Super
lot.
Saiyan 4 Goku is coming. On top of having a rescue type cover change ability, this Goku is an incredible attacker whose damage dealt increases from the start of the battle and every time he's faced with an enemy, making him a very versatile character. He also gets various buffs whenever his allies are defeated, get him angry enough, and his ultimate is basically a one-shot kill. That's it for Legends News. Thank you.
So many players must be super excited for this edition of Super Saiyan 4 Goku because we've seen so many requests for GT characters.
That's right. Like, I can tell you that I am extremely excited as well. Like, I cannot wait for this character to finally be available. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Like everybody else.
So I'm
Yeah,
not going
only
to say anything
one unit
definitive,
shown.
but I will say
But hold on, I'll wait till they're over. I have a couple things to say about that and more potential characters.
Or another with the addition of this new Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So I hope everybody looks forward to that character.
I think they will be extremely happy about that.
All right, so in terms of new Dragon Ball Legends news, that's it for today. But this is U2's first appearance in video and stuff. How was it?
Well, I loved it. I had a lot of fun, especially talking to you, Toshi, and Yaneka, and creating this piece of content for the community. So yeah, let's see what happened.
Yeah, so I also had a lot of fun. It was really fun being here on videos and stuff. And if you have feedback for us, let us know on social media, Twitter and Facebook. Also, what you would like to see on social media. And maybe we can mean something for you. So thank you so much also, Toshi, for having us. And
Really looking forward to how this community engagement grows to be in the future. So I hope everybody voices their feedback so that we can pick up on it and make Dragon Ball Legends and these video and stuff too better than ever.
Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you guys, everybody, for watching this, and I will see you guys next time.
Bye!
Thank you, bye!
Okay, so a lot of people aren't really happy with that. And you know what? I understand it. Here's the deal. They most likely are not going to only release this Goku. There is going to most likely still be a secondary sparking added to the batch that you guys will see previewed over on Twitter. They might not have included more here for that news segment simply because the video was already running long. I mean, that was like 20 minutes of talking. And then they saved the reveal for the last like minute or so of the video, so they probably didn't want it to be too much longer than it already was. It's very, very, very uncommon to get only one new character, so again, there's most likely going to be another, maybe even two, on a step-up format banner that probably is dropping tonight. There's full-on maintenance on basically everything. He honestly probably drops tonight. We'll see what happens. Obviously, if that's the case, you'll have all the coverage going up live, or I'll have all the coverage, going live as we get that information. And you know, when he goes live officially, I do my showcases and summons, etc. So yeah. Now the thing is, the anniversary, right? That's in about 6 weeks or so, give or take. So they have been ramping up GT. It's a very strong possibility that what you guys are really looking for from GT makes its way into the anniversary, for the record. This is the first time in a long time they've done this treatment for GT at all, so I think it's very likely. So in terms of what a lot of people were asking for, Gogeta, obviously, he was a possibility. Like I said, if they had shown SS4 Goku for the final teaser yesterday, that would have confirmed it for me. But and he's not like a character that needs to be saved for anniversary, because I don't even believe Dokkan released him on anniversary. They haven't actually for both of his releases. Like, he's not even like needed for that, but it just would make sense since we're like only a month out basically. So again, there's probably gonna be more characters. But that was kind of anticlimactic. But I really do like the animations. I really loved the ending portion of that LF where the dragon popped through. I'm curious to see the non-LF ultimate. I think the dragon part probably is just where it gets extended from. And if that's the case, I'm not really a huge fan of that. But nonetheless, though, are you guys excited about building out a GT team going forward? One thing is for sure, though. Here's the deal. One thing is for sure. For the upcoming GT meta, if I even want to call it that, this is most likely going to be a character that you're going to need to have. That's just how they build these teams, especially when they're so deprived of characters. You're going to most likely need to have this character. So are you guys going to be pulling? Let me know. And going from there, you know, like I said, I'll have all my coverage. So thank you all. I appreciate it. Thumbs up, subscribe. A lot of people are upset. No, F, no, Monk, yes, no. Chat's moving really fast. It'll be a little slower next time. Skip. Yeah, the skip thing. Again, the anniversary is like so close, but they try to bait you with a character right before anniversary. Last year it was Kefla, right? She was in this time slot last year. She wasn't in LF, but we weren't getting monthly LFs back then. I don't think we'll get an LF this time next month because the anniversary will be just a couple weeks out at that point, for the record. And we've been getting monthly LFs for the last like 4 or 5 months now. But yeah, they try to bait you out right before the anniversary. So stay tuned for that. And the skip thing is definitely, it's definitely warranted, right? Especially if you have limited resources, just because, again, the anniversary is so close. even though I say you probably will need this character because GT is so dead, who knows, right? So, all right, everyone, thank you all. I appreciate it. And I'll see all of you in the next one.